Battlers, I am back. Welcome to another episode of the Knighted Podcast Match Rewind Edition. Well, Battlers, when it comes to hard working, getting the job done right, none do it better than our good mates at A Plus Contracting and Poly Welding. Just like the Newcastle Knights, leaving on the field every single week. A Plus brings that same level of dedication to the mining and civil projects industry. They're the experts you need for professional, cost-effective, and comprehensive contracting services because they do the hard work, Battlers, so you don't have to. Well, Battlers, that's right. This week, the Newcastle Knights hosted the Sydney Roosters, who came to town, the Mac Jones Stadium, on Saturday night, missing a bunch of their origin stars, including Rob Toyer, Angus Crichton, Lindsay Collins, Spencer Leniu, and Connor Watson. However, the Newcastle Knights would face the Roosters without their captain, Kalen Ponga, also away on origin duties, but with also a decimated forward pack, even more injuries to our backline with our boy Razor Sharp succumbing to an injury to the lead up into this game. Massive controversy with a very questionable bunker decision that I cannot wait to sink my teeth into, which handed the Roosters a lead into the game, one which they would hold until full time, and ripped our hearts straight out of our asses, Battlers. So look, plenty to dissect and talk about on tonight's show there. Not only that, we'll be taking a look at some of the Knighted news this week, as well as anointing your LGB Marine Titanium Forge Player of the Week. I'll be giving you my Paycat Knighted Players of the Week, and I'll be answering your burning questions. So, Battlers, sit back and get ready as we take a look at the Adam O'Briens and outs of this week's heartbreaking game against the Roosters. Let's go. All right, first things first this week. Now, let's do it. I want to get it over and done with. The bullshit try that was awarded to Siwa Wong in the 70th minute of this game. Now, look, Battlers, if there's any Rooster supporters or Rooster sympathizers that have come in here and listening to this right now, either A, you have to be doing some of the most insane mental gymnastics, which would win you a gold medal at the fucking Olympics, or you do not understand rugby league football if you believe that was a try. I do not want to live in a rugby league world where a man cannot even grasp the football, for God's sake, and be awarded a try. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? The great forefathers of rugby league who founded this game back in 1908 would be rolling in their fucking rugby league graves at the moment over the fact that was given a try. Like, what are we doing? Could you imagine had that try been awarded in that sort of fashion in a grand final? Like, that's the highlight. That's the winning play of a grand final. Like, I understand. I know I had so many bloody idiot Rooster supporters sending me messages and comments and go, this is the rules, mate, blah, 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 blah. But like, come on. In your heart of hearts, can you honestly say that is a try? Rugby league this game is over 100 years old, Battlers. And that has never, ever been a try. I don't care how you want to cut or slice it or look at the rules or the loopholes. It's a loophole. It's a fucking rugby league loophole. That's what it is. Anyways, look, I don't want to be too salty about it and say, look, at that point in time, I was very salty. You know, I don't know if you could hear it in my voice, I am still very dusty, Battlers. I had a very big Bucks night. It was one of the fucking big rip and tears, I'll tell you that much. At the Star Casino, shout out to the couple of the Battlers that came and watched it with me. At the time, very much salty. And it did influence the result of the game. You'd be sitting and going, you'd be crazy to think that decision did not ultimately affect the outcome of the game. Of course it did. It was too late. You know, the Knights attack we'll get to the Knights attack once more. Don't worry. But we didn't do enough with our opportunities. I get that. I understand that. But it was a crucial decision, one that did not go away. And I'm sure there's plenty of Battlers right now that just are rolling in their beds, rolling around on the ground, just rolling around their own heads, just going, what are we doing?
Yeah, Noah said, I'm saying it, guys. That's no try every day.
Absolutely.
Carly said, favorite part of the game was the loudest bullshit chant I've ever heard.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm glad the Battlers did do that, because let's be honest, like, even if it isn't the rules, even if you can go through, if you went the checklist, the bunker's sitting there, 10 points too, let me know who was in the bunker. If you went through and go, yeah, it didn't do this, and this, it's a try. But come on. The great rugby league tries, all the great rugby league tries are scored with your fucking hands, not your forearms. Come on. Anyways, I just we don't want to be that show. We don't want to be those supporters that blame refs and blame calls for losses. But boy, that one fucking stung. That one stung. And the rugby league purists, they know. I know all these other idiots are doing bloody mental gymnastics, trying to some way make that decision a right one, but they know. Even Roosters supporters, Retro and Hainsey, who I have to host here, by the way. This is how sick the fucking rugby league gods can be. Now I've got two of these bloody diehard Rooster supporters in here come bloody Wednesday night on Origin. Can you imagine that bloody watch along, Lou?
They can sit outside in the cold or just feed them a chip here and there.
I am going to put the challenge to them. They have to do it on camera. They have to drink a beer with their forearms the whole night. If that counts, it's like, all right, boys, you have to do everything with your forehands. That's it. Everything. I don't want to see you using your hands at all. I'm going to tape your fucking hands up, and you got to use, drink your beers like this, boys.
Retro made that video on Instagram.
Yes, that was a good one. I'll give him that.
I'll give him.
But they know. Deep down, they know that was the most bullshit fucking try. Could you imagine? Imagine winning a grand final, right? That was your winning play. Let's say, for instance, Darren Albert scored a try like that, and that was forever. That was the winning play. You can't tell me deep down you'd be like, gee, got away with one there. Like, let's be honest. But anyways, let's move along from that. I feel a little bit better. Got it off my chest. But that's right. First things first this week, brought to you by Newcastle Mixed Martial Arts, which is Newcastle, Lake Macquarie's and the Hunters' highest rated martial arts gym with more than 350 Google 5-star reviews. That's 350 more than the NRL bunker. There you go. Beginners are welcome and encouraged into their safe, inclusive, and most importantly, fun training center. Head coach Jess Landry's experience includes being directly trained by UFC veterans, as well as under the wrestling coach of those fucking Sydney Roosters. Maybe I shouldn't have brought that one up this week. But yes, Newcastle Mixed Martial Arts is centrally located in Cardiff, right beside the Cardiff train station, offering day and night classes for kids, teens, and adults, including Muay Thai kickboxing, gi and no-gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and mixed martial arts. So make sure you go book your free trial right now by visiting their website at newcastlemma.com.au. All right, Battlers, if you're enjoying the show or if you're not enjoying the show, I don't care what you're going to do. You're going to hit that thumbs up button if you're watching this live stream right now. If you're listening to the podcast, you're going to leave us a big old 5-star review, because it helps more than you'll ever know. And I'm going to give you even more reasons to do that. Make sure you're following us on all social media platforms: Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube, whatever platform you waste your time on, we will be there. So every like, follow, everything, Battlers, goes a long, long way to help us grow and grow. And now this is why you're going to want to make sure you're going to follow these steps. All right, once more, for all those who haven't been tuning in of late, your boy's doing a giveaway, and it's going to be given away very soon. You've only got a couple days left. I'm giving away the 97 Premier shirt, all right? About an XL, 2XL sort of size. The grand final T-shirt with our boy the Knight on there, the greatest rugby league T-shirt, and the V-neck, 3/4 sleeve, clean skin Newcastle Knights jersey.
The more I see that, the more I wish I kept that.
Luckily we've got a spare one. But yes, look, that can all be yours. 3 steps. You're going to go find our new YouTube channel. You're going to subscribe there. You're going to find our new Spotify. You're going to go follow us there and leave us a 5-star review on YouTube. And bang, baby, you're in the running. You are well and truly in the running to win those. So make sure you go do that, Battlers. All right, well, let's kick it off this week with a little bit of United news, shall we, Battlers? All right. Unfortunately, our boy Razor Sharp succumbed to a calf injury, which apparently he picked up late in the game against the Seagulls in that Golden Point thriller. facing potentially 1 to 2 weeks. Not much info's come out regarding our boy Razor Sharp. So, yeah, very much missed this week. But let's hope it's nothing too crazy. Hopefully it is minor, which I think they're reporting on. And we're going to get our boy back sooner rather than later. So on the Tuesday roster review show, do not be surprised if Razor Sharp isn't there. This is why. So calf injury for our boy Razor. But moving along, some other fullback news. That's right, some great news. What did I say? When this man walks back into the building after this football game, I want to see a nice new contract there for our boy, the flying mullet, Fletcher Hunt. Congratulations to the young fella. He has signed a contract extension to keep him at the Knights till the end of 2027. How good is that? Playing just if he, from what I can gather, I've picked up some news. I think if he plays 10 NRL games next season, he's automatically elevated in the top 30, I think. But then he has got a guaranteed top 30 spot in 2027. So obviously this guy, we feel is going to have a real big future. He's just been one of the absolute shining lights in recent weeks. Got a good one on our hands here. So he's gone from that development deal all the way to securing a couple of years at the club, which has been absolutely sensational for our boy, the flying mullet. So some really good news there, Ballas. Good to see that these young guys get rewarded, and they went in nice and quick and snapped him up. Now, for all the gamers out there, that's right, Rugby League 26 release date next month, July 17th. Release on PS4, PS5, Xbox, and PC. Can't wait for this. I very much good memories playing the old Rugby League games on PS2 with the brother. But yeah, very keen for this one. I hope that the cover that I mocked up that's been going around on socials, they better make that the cover. That is an absolute gun cover of our boy Fletcher Hunt. He loves it too, might I add, Battlers. Absolutely loves it.
Get those royalties.
Get those, yeah, fucking oath. Absolutely. Big Ant Studios, if you're fucking tuning in, fucking, yeah, hook your boy up. But yes, I'm thinking, can't wait to do a little bit of content around this. And maybe, I think we're going to do a giveaway. I'm feeling we might do a little bit of a giveaway when the closer to the release date for the new game for the new Rugby League game. So I think it's been like since 2017, I think. Wasn't Rugby League 4 came out? I played that one a little bit. I played actually in a QRL bloody online during COVID. They got all us different supporters in and we were playing against one. I think I was playing a game against the fucking Mackay Cutters player or some shit.
That was so random.
It was random. Weird times, right? Weird times. But yeah, so keep your eyes peeled, Battlers. A new Rugby League game is on the horizon. All right, well, speaking of games, let's do it. Let's sink our teeth into Saturday night's game back home at McDonald Jones Stadium with the Newcastle Knights going down to the Roosters 8 points to 12. Plenty of talking points coming into the game. As I said, more shuffling, even more shuffling around. Our boy Razor, he's out. And then prior to that, Jackson Hastings makes his triumphant return after not playing first grade since round 20, that Broncos game in 2024. He comes back into the squad, and we're all sitting in. It's in an even younger bench. I think the oldest guy on the bench, I think someone was saying, was like 22 years old with another debutant coming in too. Brock coming in to the squad. So a lot of changes in from the Tuesday show that we did. But we all sitting there thinking, wow, the Knights are on. The Knights are on in the 3rd minute. Dill Lucas absolutely breaks them apart. Huge line break down the left edge. And then who's there to clean up and capitalize on it? Our boy. Come on, Carl. And we're sitting there going, oh, shit. We're used to the Newcastle Knights sort of scoring late in games. Our first halves haven't been renowned for coming out quite so far. So we're thinking, holy shit, here we go. We're on tonight. But no sooner did that happen, we'll get back to where we were. And we're going to talk about the Newcastle. I know it's been a theme this year, but I really want to dive into why. The why question. We're going to really dive headfirst into some stuff, maybe give some perspective on the Newcastle Knights attack. But yes, as I said, that massive Dill Lucas, he's going to feature a lot in this show. Dill Lucas, massive line break along that left edge. Our boy Kyle McCarthy cleans it up, but it wouldn't be until around the 60th minute, where Schiller, unfortunately, did a great job. He put himself in a real good spot, just couldn't quite get it down. It would have been one of the great Rugby League tries if he managed to score it. But yeah, we were waiting near an hour of game time before the Newcastle Knights even remotely came close to cracking him and getting over the try line. And then talk about a 12-point swing. Then they go down. Their big fella, Foeki, bit of a left foot step after some James Tedesco magic. What did I keep saying on the Tuesday show? James Tedesco was going to be the dude. You know, we had our boy Razor ruled out. Well, then coming into this one, Sam Walker, he was a late withdrawal. He had picked up an injury to training and whatnot. So even more so, he's going to be the focus. I know we talked about on the Tuesday show that, Teddy was going to be the guy. He's been in some real good form at the moment. And boy, oh boy, wasn't he every bit of that. Unfortunately, the prick vindicated me by playing really well defensively. We caught him out a couple of times, but shut down a lot of shit. Defensively, unfortunately, the Roosters, they had some really good one-on-one stuff. Billy Smith on that left edge, he did a really good job on gags. Defensive line, they were really good because what did they do? They just kept giving us opportunities. It wasn't as if the Newcastle Knights weren't winning that field position battle. You're watching that first half there, we look in control. What I said on the Tuesday show, who was the worst completing team in the NRL? The Roosters. Where there was, shit offloads that were hitting the deck or forward passes. They just kept giving us opportunities. And we just could not capitalize on it. And we're sitting back once more, watching the Newcastle Knights not looking like a well-oiled machine in attack. Now, what we're going to talk about tonight, Battlers, the Knights have a philosophical problem, not a physical problem. You're going, Linc, what the fuck does that mean? That's some profound shit you're about to tell us here. Well, I'll tell you why. Now, even though we had plenty of inexperience, we come into this game going, yeah, clearly we got another debutant. Young Brock's come in. You got Elijah, Tommy, like even Shields. Shields only played 28 games. Did you know that, Luke? 28. He's only played 28 NRL games.
That's insane.
Yeah, you kind of don't put him in that basket. He's kind of, 28 games. He's very much early into his NRL career. Cole McCarthy, Fletcher Hunt, there's plenty of inexperience there. But we still had enough key players, and enough strike in there to do a job. We should have won this football game. I know we've talked about that decision. It happened. It absolutely happened. And I think we can all sit there and go, if the Roosters hadn't have got that call, we'd probably win the game. We probably just scraped through, but we probably win, but it didn't happen. But we still needed to do more damage. And as I said, that third minute, holy deal, we're all sitting there going, fucking hell, the Knights going to put 50 on the fucking Roosters tonight. We are on. But no, gifted all the opportunities and still couldn't quite crack them there. So
Justin said one positive is 11 of the 17 players were local juniors, which was awesome to see. Made it feel like the Knights of old.
Oh, we're going to get to that, Justin. We're going to get to the silver. I'm a big silver linings kind of guy, but yeah, we'll get to that. Now, look, sure, there were some really great individual efforts. You can all sit here and it's not like we look at the team going, oh, geez, not like the dark ages where you got guys that are, well past it or just got a really lack talent. We've got talent. You got Dill Lucas, KPP, Gags, Greggy Marzu running an absolute muck out there. Fletcher Hunt, he's got a little bit of X factor about him. We still should have done a job there. Now, if your team is struggling in attack, no matter who is on the field, because what are we saying? How different was this team this week with all the inexperience compared to recent weeks? And you're still seeing the same old attack, isn't it? It's the same old attack. That's what I'm saying. It's a philosophical problem. It's not a physical problem because you look at the defense. What's defense? Defense is built on effort. The effort areas of Newcastle Knights can't be faulted. Even now, we only leaked 12 points. You look at what fucking St. George and the Cowboys put on. They got blown away by 50. So that the effort areas are there. We're a great defensive team. It's just the attack. And this is why I want to try and separate the two. Because your form can dip, right? Form comes and goes. But when players continually look clunky, disconnected, predictable looking attack, that tells you the system is broken, not the individuals. We're not sitting there going, geez, KP looks fucking terrible, blah, 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 blah. It's the systems in place continually. So that's what I'm saying. If your team's struggling in attack, no matter what, in attack, no matter who's on the field, that's not just a form issue. That's clearly a coaching problem. So good attacking teams always have that, clear structure, that blueprint. There's no blueprint for the Newcastle Knights. So any player stepping in, and this is what the Panthers do really, really well. You plug your guy in, and they know where to fit on the field, and they can play their role, and it's repeatable and adaptable. The Newcastle Knights are just struggling with that. It doesn't seem to matter who we roll out on the field. That said, you got Jacko out there, a couple of debutants, and shifting shit around. It still looks the same. It still looks the same. So that's the same. The good teams like Penrith. Look at Milky Jenkins, prime example. We were sitting there taking the piss out of Milky about 12 months ago, thinking, Brad, this guy is not an NRL player. He's one of these guys who shines at the bloody Panthers. I think he got a Ron Massey Cup, which is like the grade below New South Wales Cup. The bloke's in fucking Blues camp now. Killing it. Absolutely killing it, Milky. So he's a prime example of, coming out of probably the best coaching. I know they're floundering at the moment, but looking at their remark, let's be honest, they're going to be the best poly rugby league team in our probable lifetime. But it's going to be very hard to see a team do what the Panthers do. But the systems and structures, everything in place. Plug a guy in, does a job, comes in, fills that role. So, yeah, if the players, continually looking lost, unsure, their timing's out, that's a sign. That is a sign that they haven't been given the right tools, the right coaching, the game model to succeed. I think that's playing it before our very eyes, because as I was saying before, attack isn't about effort. We know this team's got effort. It's that cohesion, sequencing, the game intelligence, which all comes from where, Battlers? Where does all that come from? It comes from your coaching. So you can have the most talented spine in the comp, but if it's lacking coaching creativity, or the shapes just don't suit the players, you're going to look absolutely toothless, is what we're doing. We're relying basically, we're throwing Hail Marys. It's just individual brilliance. Either relying way too much on Kalen Ponga, way too much on Razor Sharp. So at the end of the day, if your team's, if the identity of the attack has no variety, it's just not fluid, and it's not the roster. I don't think it's the roster that overall needs changing. Of course, there's some areas that we need to look at, but it's the playbook. I think we're all looking at this at the moment, and it's going, clearly the playbook is terrible, because you can have the most average NRL players. They don't have to be world beaters, but if you just run a really basic structured attack, it can work for you. And that's what the Roosters certainly did. They missed a lot of their guys, but they hung in there, and just put themselves in position to win. Again, even though it was off a bullshit try, but we still had enough pieces. I understand it's a very inexperienced side, but I think we can all sit there and go, the Roosters handed it over to us. They weren't dominating us, so to speak. I felt like we were in control of that game. I felt like definitely, even though we couldn't convert it into points, I think most people sitting back going, well, the Knights look like they're playing a bit better. All the statistics, we dominated them. This is what sucks, Battlers. You go through and look at all the key statistics. Let's do it now. I'll quickly read off some of the stats. We dominated. Well, not dominated, but look, we beat them in possession. We beat them in runs, run meters, post contact meters, tackle breaks, set distance, kick return meters, play the ball speeds. What else have we got here? What else we got? I think, we made one more error than them. But look, fatigue should have kicked in for them. They made way more tackles. They missed more tackles. Again, just everything in our favor. Everything. You'd look at those statistics before even looking at the score and go, the Knights should have won. Surely should have won. They should have won pretty comfortably too, after beating them in so many statistics. But with everything going in our favor, and that's what I was saying, this is why I want to try and separate the defense of the Newcastle Knights to the attack, because it's all effort. We know the boys can defend. We haven't really, apart from that Sharks game, as I was alluding for, even the Roosters, game one, they just got blown off the park. Fucking Broncos put 50 on them. They've had some pretty ordinary teams put some big scores on them. The Newcastle Knights, not so much. So the efforts, I feel like we all know that titanium field defense and those effort areas are all there. But on the flip side, geez Louise, no we are uncoordinated. I think that's the word. You're not looking at the Newcastle Knights going, they're a really well-oiled machine in attack. It just looks like you're relying on individual brilliance, and you just don't know the identity. I know we're kind of going back on old ground. It's been fucking a theme for the Newcastle Knights this year, but I think I want to really try and separate our defensive ability to our offensive ability and where the problem lies. And I don't feel like, do we have the best top 30 roster? No, there's some fucking teams out there that are stacked. I know Justin was saying just then, we've got some great locals coming through. And I think that's, Peter O'Sullivan's harboring that. And I feel like, and I think we all feel like the glory days of the Newcastle Knights, we all know was built upon that. And we're starting to lean into it a little bit. I want to keep saying Dylan Lucas was kind of like he sort of opened the door. I feel like he was like the first guy in a long time that I feel like we're going, right, he was the first one, and then we're going to see some more guys start to, your Fletcher Hunts, hopefully Kyle McCarthy. I thought Kyle still played a pretty good game. These sort of guys starting to trickle in, and we're going to start fostering these guys. So maybe that's why, guys like Gags and they're not going to want to pay over for KPP because they think these younger guys like McEwen or whatnot are going to be the future. They're going to want to fast track their development, kind of like what the Raiders were doing this year. But look, an area that was really disappointing, and I know it sounds pretty obvious, the big alpha dog forward. Jeez, we missed our big forwards. Brodie Jones and Matty Croker. Unfortunately, I love these boys, but man, oh man, did they get dominated. Absolutely dominated. Because on the Tuesday show, I feel like these are kind of evenly matched. The Roosters had some young forwards, and ours on the younger side also. So I didn't feel like with our Origin players out, it was a bit leveled there. But I tell you what, these boys, Brodie Jones for 39 minutes, he only managed 51 run meters, and our boy Croaks, 52 minutes, only 76 run meters. Not great when you compare to the Roosters boys. Who we got here? White. What did he get? White, 55 minutes, 180 run meters. And then for Keddy, obviously got that try there in the second half. 49 minutes, 137. Killed it. But getting back to Justin's point about these young guys, I'll tell you what. Young Elijah, Salsa Lamoana, tell you, coming off the bench, he had in 16 minutes, he managed to run more. He had 61 run meters. He beat those boys in 16 minutes. And even young Jermaine McEwen, he cracked 106. 106 run meters for our boy Jermaine in 23 minutes. So the younger guys coming off the bench did a better job. They added actually a bit more impact than the boys starting. So that was a bit disappointing to see. But yeah, clearly we need either Leo and or JSAF out there to really set that tone. So I just thought, looking at those numbers, those boys got schooled, I think, by the Roosters, by the Rooster props there. And I'm sure they would have put their hands up and gone, yeah, wasn't our best outing on the day. They did some other stuff pretty well, but geez, yeah, run meters were way down. And yeah, what I was saying about James Tedesco, boy, oh boy. Teddy doesn't play battlers, we win that game. He was that influential on them. He was just had his fucking hands on everything. Had hands in both plays that led to both their tries, if you want to call that last one a fucking try. But yeah, he was just absolutely immense for the Roosters this week, which really sucked. I would have much preferred him to be omitted from the team than Sam Walker, because we're all hoping Sammy's going to come in there. It might be a little bit clunky. Well, I'm sure it would have been a little bit clunky. I don't think it would have quite hit the ground running with Sam Walker coming back in the team. But, geez, Teddy picked up all that slack, didn't he? And, yeah, got him. Really, he was the difference. He was the difference in the end. Got him the win. They can pretty much hang their hat on what Teddy brought to the team that week. Jackson Hastings, comment away. You let me know what you thought of Jacko. I thought he was really good for a guy that hadn't played a lot with the first grade squad. I did talk about one of the upsides on the Tuesday show was who better to come into the New South Wales captain, the halfback, to get these younger guys into the team. Boy, oh boy, he tried his guts out. You can't fault it. You can't watch that game and go, geez, Jacko didn't give it a red hot crack. Fuck it. One thing that I was talking on the Tuesday show, the Lions engaged. I think it was ranked 4th or 5th overall. So we all know he loves getting in there nice and deep and giving his inside and outside men as much opportunity as he possibly can. He did that once more. Just really running the ball a lot, which surprised me. I wasn't kind of expecting that. He had some really good short ball plays. The KPP, unfortunately, didn't quite pan out to anything, but looked a little dangerous there. KPP, Jesus Christ. I know he didn't sort of have the mad highlights with the ball in hand, but fucking hell, what a beast. Beast defensively. Anything going in that right edge, he was in there. Got numbers and tackles. When that Billy Smith fucking dragged his ass over the bloody try line after Gags absolutely jams bloody what's his name? Egan Butcher got him one of the real good bloody rib shots. And straight after that, Jacko KPP just absolutely sling Billy Smith out there. So thought defensively he was pretty good. But let's do it, bugger it. Let's do it right now. Let's jump into your Titanium Forge Player of the Week, brought to you by LGB Marine, the experts in building resilience on and off the water, just like the toughest structures they construct. This week's player has been battle-tested, unshaken, and built to withstand anything. LGB Marine, strength, precision, resilience. Let's dive into this week's winner. And battlers, after getting an absolute buttload of votes, your boy, Dylan Lucas, the line-breaking machine, picked up your Titanium Forge Player of the Week. Let's take a look at some of our boy Dylan Lucas' stats. After 80 minutes of play, 19 runs, 233 run meters, 77 post-contact, 3 tackle breaks, got that only one line break. Bullshit. He had more than one line. He had that first one, and then remember that Cogs set him up. He had that play there, Cogs squares up, Hugo Savala, Hunt swinging around the back, and then, shout out to Cogs, held the ball just up enough to get the ball to Lucas. Too big, too strong, mad footwork, brushes fucking Savala like a child at a bloody food court, used him, and then that's bullshit. He should have 2 line breaks. Let's protest that one. Anyways, again, really, really good game. What have we got here? 37. Hang on, no, that's not him. 34 tackles, 0 missed. So with the ball in hand or not, he was absolutely immense. Our back rowers doing a job. Boy, oh boy, we've got a really good back row pairing at the moment with these boys. So let's hope we can build something there. I know Adam O'Brien, one of his halftime coming out of the sheds, he wanted his halves to connect more with his back rowers. Yeah, I thought they were sort of starting to cook a little bit there. They'd sort of had their opportunities. I think both back rowers, KPP and Dill Lucas, can hang their heads up pretty high. Although they were really, really good this game. Clearly, you guys thought that, which leads me into my segue, which I'm going to give you my Knighted Players of the Week, brought to you by Paycat. Payroll made easy by a crew from Newey who know their stuff. Whether you're building the board, whether you're paying the boys on a construction site or sorting out that tricky Shads award for your NDIS biz, Paycat makes it dead easy. They back hundreds of businesses and even help an NRL club keep their payroll running smooth. You can pay payroll yourself, or you can get the Paycat team to do it for you. Either way, you'll have more time to crack a cold one and watch the footy. Let's take a look at some blokes who earned their pay this week. Now, I'm agreeing with you guys. Dill Lucas, massive effort. Again, that huge line break, the open the game with, played off the back of that. Got Kyle McCarthy, our one and only try scorer this week. Thought he's absolutely immense. I'm running out again. Superlatives for our boy, Mr. Foot Fetish, Dylan Lucas. A guy who was playing out of position, I thought he did a really good job. Again, not a highlight game. Absolutely not a highlight game, but shit. Phoenix Crossland, 54 tackles, 0 missed. Great link man in the middle. I think Adam O'Brien's game plan for Crossland was just to do that, just to add that starch in defense in the middle with some of these younger guys, in the forwards with him. I thought he was really enthusiastic. Again, a lot of people probably looking at their game and just going, he didn't jump off the page, didn't have any huge highlights, but boy, oh boy, 54 tackles, 0 missed. I'm going to give you my fucking 2 points this week, Phoenix. And Greggy Marzu, talk about getting through a mountain of fucking work. I know the Roosters peppered him. I don't think they kicked it to our right edge once. They just were targeting that right edge all night. So they were just feeding Greg the ball in this regard. It's a double-edged sword, is it? Because you want to try and get the one-on-one marker. They probably want to get Dom Young and fucking Marky Mark on Greggy Marzu. But, if not, why would you keep kicking it to this man? Otherwise, if you're not trying to contest the ball, I don't know why you would try and keep kicking down that way. Greggy Marzu, what have we got here? 23 runs, 263 run meters, topping our run meters for the night. 100 post-contact meters. 100 post-contact meters, and he only had 1 bloody tackle break. Boy, oh boy, what a fucking effort. 1 tackle, 1 missed, got the 1 error, but geez, talk about doing that tough shit. Doing that tough shit when it said going back to what Brody and Croaks, unfortunately, down game as far as run meters. How invaluable is it to have guys like him? And we still won the meter. Like the Newcastle Knights still beat him in the meters game. And it's off the back of, some of the hard work these outside backs are doing. And Greggy Marsall epitomizes that. So he got my 1 point this week. Again, it was a bit hard to try and pick there wasn't like 3 massive, massive shine outs. I just kind of looked at the game and went, he sort of put their hand up and did some work. And these boys got the job done for me this week. But a shout out again. I haven't given you any pay cap points, and I want to give him half a point last time. Was Kyle McCarthy, because who has been dominating all the highlights? We're talking about fucking highlight packages. Our boy Mark Nawang and Nitawase. They're going absolutely crazy. He's fucking stirring up a bloody media frenzy. He did absolutely fuck all. Who was marking up against Marky Mark? That was our boy. Come on, Kyle. Again, we got a good one. I really like our boy Hong Kong Kyle. Just quickly, I've got to give a shout out and read out some of his stats. Where are you, Kyle? Obviously, our only try scorer of the night, 21 runs for 168 of the best, 55 post contact. Got the 1 line break, the 1 offload, 16 tackles. He did get 3 of them missed, but 2 errors, which isn't great. But look, boy, oh boy, for a young guy, I'm loving what I'm seeing. Geez, the go against Marky Mark, like as I said, he had a really quiet game. A lot of people going, fuck, did he even play? I know Dom had some really, he had some big runs and got some stuff going for him there. But I thought young Kyle did a really good job. Did a really, really good job shutting sort of Mark out of that game. So shout out to you, Kyle. Shout out to you, mate. Hope the battlers start to get around you a little bit more. Fuck yeah, I got to start listening to Linc. Fucking Kyle's a good one. Kyle's a real good one. But yes, battlers, look, again, no huge takeaways from this game. It was a game where we had a shitload of opportunities. I think they're even saying we had 37 tackles in their red zone compared to the Roosters' 7. You heard that right. 7 tackles in the red zone for the Roosters. We had fucking 37. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So a game we should have won. Regardless of the bunker decision or not, we should have won that game. We should have gone at halftime with easily 2 or 3 fucking tries. Most teams would have done that. Most teams that night would have easily been double digits, without a doubt. Without a doubt. But it is what it is. We're back there. Look, had we've had KP, some forwards back, it would have made a huge difference. But getting back to, what Justin was saying, some really good young guys come through. Huge shout out too. I've sort of skimmed past him. Brock Grayson coming in. I haven't even talked about it. He's a guy that's on a development contract. This is how bloody thin we are on forwards. Get the young 22-year-old, gets promoted up. Look, did a really good job, I thought. Came in, did a job. Where's he? We got to read out his stats. Fuck. You can't make your debut and not get your bloody stats read out on the United podcast. 16 minutes, 6 runs, 52 run meters, 21 post contact, got the 1 tackle break, 12 tackles, 0 missed. Fuck yeah. On your Brock. That was good effort, mate. Good effort. Come in, did a job for the boys. Again, massive, massive inexperience. Like McEwen, Grayson, Salsa Moana coming off the bench. Tommy Cant. Tommy's the veteran off the bench with 12 games. He's the old bastard. Hey? Put that in perspective. Holy dooly. So, Battlers is what it is. It's one of those games that I will never, ever, ever, ever go and watch again. I think it's one we want to wipe from our memory entirely. The one that got away, got a stinker decision. Shout out all the battlers out in the wet and the cold towards the end of that one, having to listen to the Roosters bullshit. But look, here we are once more. What's it, 5 wins, 9 losses now or something, which sucks. But anyways, that'll pretty much wrap up the review. I don't want to dwell on this one too much. We just got to try and pick out some great individual performances, kind of highlight more, of the same of what's going wrong. But anyways,
Christopher said Voss in commentary last night called Kyle Hong Kong Kyle, taking your catchphrases.
Oh, of course, mate. Absolutely, that would be. Hey, Hong Kong Kyle just got a nice ring to it, doesn't it? I'm gonna start fucking trademarking these. Yeah, no, he's a good one. I really like our boy Kyle McCarthy. I think we've got a real good one on our hands there. Hopefully, he starts every opportunity. He seems to put his hand up and do a really good job. So, all right, that'll wrap up the game review. It's certainly one I never want to come back to. And let's hope when Retro and fucking Hainsey come in here, Don't fucking start talking about it. Otherwise, yeah, they're going to be watching fucking outside in the cold. All right, let's jump into your get out alive fire safety training burning questions. Battlers, if you work in a business, chances are you are not prepared for fire and or emergency. So make sure you get in contact with Get Out Alive Fire Safety Training to get all your plans, safety procedures, training, whatever it is you need to be prepared. They are the guys for you. So get in contact with them, get compliant, get your staff trained. All right, don't get caught with your pants down. Do you reckon the Newcastle Knights, if there was fire and emergency, do you reckon they'd be prepared? And if not, who would be the one guy, Lou, that would be? Who would you trust in an emergency situation in the Knights?
Jackson Hastings.
Jacko's the man?
Yep.
You reckon?
He can lead the team.
You reckon he just put his little warden cap on and just start directing, nearest exit here, grab the fire fucking extinguisher.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Jacko. All right, very good. All right, what have the Battlers got for us? Actually, we'll kick it off. Sorry, we've got a voicemail. Let's kick it off with a voicemail this week from Tumpy. Where are you? Let me bring it up, Tumpy. Sorry, I'm so dusty, Battlers. Does my voice sound all right? I feel like in my monitors I'm sounding a bit.
No, you're good.
Really?
I'm
I'm
struggling too.
Oh
I've
my
literally had a 2-second power nap.
Oh
while
yeah,
you're talking.
I had 20 minutes before trying to rewatch the game, and I'm just like, oh my god, you already feel like crap, and then you got to get up, Battlers. You got to wake up, and you're going, oh Christ, I got to sit through this fucking game and get all my notes and try and make some sort of sense of it. Yeah,
It's been a busy weekend, let alone a busy 2 months.
Yes, very much so. I tell you what, it would have made some really great viewing once more. Talk about the some of the highlight packages. If I did a Knights watch, if I wasn't on this Bucks night, yeah, there would have been
followed by a birthday party today.
Yeah, geez, it's been full on. All right, enough about our lives and our problems, Battlers. Let's take a listen to Tompy's voicemail.
Hey, it's Tompy. I'm thinking with our wing and centres, with the likes of Dom potentially coming back, that Schiller will probably lose his spot just because he's a bit hot and cold. As much as, I do love when he's on fire, it just doesn't always work. And Dom, I think, will just slot back in there. And looks like Greg has an injury, so I'd say Hunt will be playing even if Bradman comes back, which I think is positive, even though we'll be losing Greg. Hunt's been a standout in the recent weeks. And also just thoughts on if Greg, comes back some stage sooner than, well, hopefully soon, but, didn't look great. Could he potentially play up front somewhere with the forward pack just because of how solid he is?
Well, there you go. Well, that must have been pride of bloody team list being named that one. So Greg absolutely did play. Now, to break it down, Tompy, yes, I do think Dom will come in and take Shill's spot. No knock on our boy Schiller, the Schiller instinct, but yeah, look, I've said it so many times. They want to try and what's the old saying? Catch lightning in a bottle and get that 2023 version of Dom Young back, because we need that Dom Young back more than ever. Kept saying that some of the tries he was scoring, only he would score. Like some of the crazy shit, he was a threat no matter where on the field. He even did it again. You see that huge bloody brush that he put on Jack Cogger and just got on the outside of the defenders there and started really, really testing. Unfortunately, he was really starting to test us. And talk about how fucking weird. I cannot honestly remember a time where a player played against the team he was going to go play for, like 1 week and then the other. 10 points to a battler who can give me another example. I cannot think of one. So weird.
He went from winning a game to losing a game.
Yeah, how does that work? Like your video session, he'll be coming into the building dissecting the loss. Talk about fucking mental gymnastics. It's unequivocally he's going to come to us. Even Hayden Knowles, I noticed on his Instagram, he was our old Knights trainer. Remember, that's the bloke Clem wanted to fucking punch holes in. Even Hayden said something about farewell in him and his NRL journey will continue. They even said Adam O'Brien was going to go talk to Dom Young at full time. So it's happening. Like, I'm sure by the time, if you're listening to this, on Monday morning or whatever, the news will be out. He'll be in the building again, and I'm pretty sure he'll be going over to Perth. Look, I think Shill's future, his long-term future for the Knights is a centre. I know he didn't have the best outing last week on the left edge again. I think we're all sitting here going, I don't know why we did that. Maybe we just underestimated our boy Fletcher Hunt doing a job in the centres, but I'm sure with a bit of preparation, he would be a really, really good, probably maybe Wright's just his side. I don't know. Schiller, maybe the Schiller Dom combo moving forward. If by all reports they're not keen to retain Gag at his price tag, so whether he's got a bit of wiggle room in there, they can get a cheaper deal or whatnot. But all signs are pointing that Gags is leaving the building. Shills will be there. Greggy Marzio, I don't have any. I don't have any doubts. Or Greg could probably do a job as far as running the ball up. I don't know about defensively, Tompy. Like, as I said, you're going to be making some tackles. I just, if he's got the engine to keep doing that, plus be the big tackle breaking kind of player, don't know. Be very interesting to see what he came through as a youngster, if he played much forwards and before getting shifted out there just to be this powerful bloody tight winger, which in the NRL, like, had Greg Marzu played rugby league fucking 25, 30 years ago, yeah, he would have been in the middle. I very much doubt he would have been a winger. They weren't built like that back then. But in the modern game, but yeah, potentially he could. Who knows? He might develop into there, but I don't know. Just don't know if he's got the motor to be in the trenches in the middle, tackling his dick off. He hasn't had a penis transplant yet. Greg, he might want one. He might go, no, thanks. I've seen why Phoenix gets bloody sewn on every other week. No, thank you. All right, what do we got? What do we got, Lute? Hit me with your best shot.
Justin's asked, will KP stay in Perth after the State of Origin game and meet the team when they fly over for the game against the Dolphins?
Surely he would, mate. Shout out to my dad. He literally just came back from a flight over from Perth. So it's a fucking long trip, pal. You would think so. It would make sense, right, for him to stay there. As long as Mal Meninga doesn't get any ideas and start getting in his ear about this new fucking Perth team, this new Perth gig that's going on. Yeah, you would think so, mate. I don't think he'd be too keen to jump on a plane all the way back over just to, especially if he's got an injury or two. You would think medical staff would probably be like, mate, just stay there. We'll come to you. Let your hair down. Yeah, you would think so, mate.
Chris has asked, are you going to Perth?
Unfortunately not, mate. I am not. Won't be going to Perth no longer. But yes, I will be, though, doing the you're getting 2 nights watches. So my sacrifice is that I'm not going to Perth, but as I said, get Hainsey and Retro in here for the New South Wales Blues stream team. Put the stream team together for that. And then I'll be doing a watch along, mate. So I'm busy next weekend. What have we got? The Tuesday show, backing up on a Wednesday for the watch along. And then when do we play? What day do we actually play? I haven't even fucking looked. This is how busy I've been. I don't even know what day the Newcastle Knights play next week.
It's on Saturday, the 21st.
Saturday
at 5:30.
Holy shit! So I got a show Tuesday, back it up Wednesday. Then I get Thursday, Friday off. Then I got to do the Night's Watch Saturday, and then do the review show Sunday. Holy dooly, boy! Oh boy, busy boy,
God.
busy boy. All right, very good.
Oops, sorry, computer. All right, not Christopher. Ian. Burning question. What did you make of the Knights taking the penalty kick for goal? At the time, I thought it was the right move, but in hindsight, they should have rolled the dice. Your thoughts?
Oh, mate, when you saw a team, as I said, it was just, struggling. I can't knock them. I would have thought, given the way it looked like the Roosters weren't going to crack us, looked like they were just their own worst enemy for the first hour of that game before some bloody Tedesco magic broke us open. I would have thought, it could have quite easily been a game where it was an 8-0 affair. It kind of reeked of a bit of that. It reeked of a game of a team that punched the Roosters in the face really quickly, got that quick try, and had nothing else going, just stuttering attack. They had pretty good, their goal line defense was pretty good, even though they probably read a lot of what we were throwing at them. And then a team that couldn't get out of their own way. They literally couldn't attack us because, every bloody time they get a chance, they'd fucking drop the ball or turn it over or just something stupid. didn't give themselves any position. It kind of reeked of that game. I wish that was the game I was breaking down this week, even though it would have been one of the all-time pooslinger games to try and watch. An 8-0, it reeked of an 8-0 kind of game. But again, James Tedesco brilliance kept them in there, and just what do the great players do? They shine when they're needed to, and he just came through for them. Unfortunately for us, even though one of them was a fucking bullshit try, yeah. But yeah, I can't be too critical. I was happy at that point going, I can't see it. It looked like another team wasn't going to score a bloody point. So yeah, hindsight's always 20/20, isn't it?
Bruce has asked, is Marzu okay?
I think so. I haven't heard anything. Why was there reports that he came a bit busted, was he?
Nico said neck injury for Marzu apparently was getting pins and needles and numbness down his hand, which is why he was holding it. NRL physio.
There you go. Well, you guys are doing my job for me. Sorry. I'm a bit out of form. I said it has been, I'm not built like I was in my 20s. Shout out to all the 30-plus-year-olds out there. Fucking, you just don't recover the same way. You just don't. You just, when you have a big night on the piss, fucking hell, it rattles you. Well, there you go. Surely it might be just one of those stinger things, and just, bit uncomfortable, but our boy will be right after that.
Storky said, bloody good sized crowd there too. Was good atmosphere even when it started flogging down. Hard not to give it at least 2 points to the old wet weather poncho. Lol. Really put in the hard yards when needed.
How close, mate? I love a wet weather poncho. I always hook up the battlers with a wet weather poncho. I think Magic Ground, I had one for one bloke. Yeah, you. Matty Crookle at the Titans game, even though it didn't fucking rain. Always having battlers. I'm telling you now, they come in clutch. Nothing worse because, come Magic Round. Jeez, they were the biggest fucking raindrops. They're like the size of fucking footies. I swear to God, Christ, it hammered down. And yeah, there's nothing worse. Especially, I think I was wearing a bloody a cotton jersey that day, and there was all these other guys. Everyone's wearing their bloody old kit, and fuck, it would have just stayed wet for fucking hours. They were soaked. So yeah, battlers, do yourself a favor. Just get one of those cheeky $2 Kmart jobs. Chuck it in the pocket. You never know. You never know.
That or Reject Shop.
Yeah, shout out Reject Shop.
Carly's asked, what players are looking to return this week against the Dolphins?
Ooh, I know. Adam O'Brien was saying JSAF was 1 to 2 weeks. So I'm assuming JSAF, if they do want to pull the trigger on Hetherington, they want to just try and bolster whether he'll get us. If they put him straight back in, who knows? But I think he was a week off on his shoulder. Brady, they could have named this week, but they erred on the side of caution. And, we all know Brady's history with his soft tissue, bloody hamstring injury. So good call. I like that. He'll definitely be back. You'll see Brady back. Unless he's had a setback that we don't know of. Adam O'Brien did say, I think it was post-match presser last week or leading up to the game against the Seagulls, that, they could have played him, but they chose not to. So there's a few names. And obviously KP, obviously, touch wood, he comes out of State of Origin after an absolute pounding after New South Wales Blue. Let's just hope New South Wales just pound the Queenslanders in the fucking core of the earth that hard. Billy just starts. Adam O'Brien gets on the blower. Just fucking get him off. He's our only player in that fucking Origin team. Just get him off. So let's hope that happens. And our boy comes through unscathed. And then, you'll get KP back. Because obviously Razor won't be. If he's facing 1 to 2 weeks, it'll be very doubtful he'll be in there. So KP will be back there to do a job.
Tony Sauce, do you think by not re-signing Gags, there's putting a lot of effort into Kyle and Hunt long term?
Oh, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Keep saying it. Yeah, keep saying about it. Oh, we've seen it now because obviously people obviously really admire the highlight packagey stuff. We all know, it made my bloody Rugby League 26 bloody cover, all that stuff. So everyone's on Fletcher Hunt. But yeah, Kyle McCarthy, there's some stuff he does off the ball. As I said, cast your minds back. I can't remember what game it was. I kept saying he had a game where he had 2 or 3 errors, just poor handling errors coming out of our own end. But then there was a play or two later in the game, and he just rockets this ball out to KP right across our try line. I was like, shit, that's a sign of a good player. Really good, confident player to do that. It wasn't a guy who was going to go into his shell and just do his thing, but there's a lot to like about Kyle. Big guys. I think he gets stronger as well. I really like our boy Hong Kong Kyle. I think we've got a good one there. I haven't witnessed the game yet and going, he's had a stinker. Like, I keep saying it. What do I keep saying about the Newcastle Knights debutants? Come up and do a job. The young fella, look, Brock Gleason did it for us again. Those numbers he posted, like, fuck, what more do you want from the young fella? Came in, did a job. Elijah was sensational. As I said, in 16 minutes, he beat Croaks and fucking Brody, Mr. Nitanium didn't run meters. Young McEwen, he got 106 of the best in over 23 minutes. I thought he had some really good touches. So, yeah, mate, there's, with all the shit that's going on, we all know that the attack of the team is clearly the biggest issue. One of them that isn't an issue is development of young players. I think we're all starting to see it. And and the pleasing is I think we're seeing it quicker than I even thought it was going to happen. I thought, got to be patient with this shit. Peter Park coming in, he'll start making some moves and adjustments, and Peter O'Sullivan. But yeah, it's amping up, which is good. I'm liking it.
Joseph has asked, do you think our attack was better with Hastings this week?
I think yes and no, because what I was saying last week against the Seagulls, it was a different brand of attack. Kept going back to that dual running threat, KP left, Razor right, really get that Seagulls defensive line real pulled apart. Where this week it was you don't have either of those players. So it's completely different. You got that more conventional style, I guess you could call it, opposed to that real eyes up, quick kind of footy. I didn't mind it. I thought Jacko's kicking game. I've always really liked Jacko's kicking game. I thought it was pretty good. One guy I will give a shout out to, I thought Jaden Brayley. I thought some of the battlers I met were thinking they weren't liking what they were seeing from Brails. And I was like, I'm really surprised to hear that. Because what did he play? 72 minutes for Jaden Brayley. I thought he was sensational. How many times would he get out of dummy half? I think he earned us 1 or 2 penalties, and then he had that little grubber kick for they fumbled the ball and shit, and got us another set there. He just picks his moments really well. So I think he's playing some real good form. And shout out too. So when we were at the Star Casino, the old man, he's like, "Oh, that's fucking what's his name? Is it Mark? Fuck, this is how fucking pissed I was. Is it Mark Bishop? He's the attacking coach for the Canberra Raiders. If someone can correct me, please. Anyways, long story short, it was my brother's Bucks night. I asked him, mate, would you mind coming over and saying hello to my brother, mad Raider supporter, blah, blah, blah. He did that, so huge shout out to him for doing that. Later, though, we came back, and he was sitting across from the table when we were in the sports bar about to watch the Knights game. Anyways, having a yarn to him, and I was talking about Jaden Brayley. I said, mate, I'm sure you got a keen eye on Jaden, obviously because he's just signed with the Raiders, and they got that Owen Paddy who's fucking killing it. They got Tommy Starling, so I said, fuck, what's with you guys' obsession with fucking Knights hookers? You fucking love them. Tommy Starling, Danny Levi, fucking Jaden Brayley. Anyways, he's like, mate, he's unequivocally, he feels like he's the best hooker in your club, without a doubt. And he goes, he's sensational. Can't wait to get our hands on him. And yeah, I didn't realize he was saying, he was in our club during the Bennett era. I didn't even know that. So there you go. Had a good old yarn with him. So, yeah, he had some really good things to say about Jaden. He was really pleased from what he was saying. I was like, well, it vindicates me because I say, mate, I've been fucking talking him up big time the last couple of weeks. I've been really enjoying what I've seen from Jaden. So I thought he was a good piece of the puzzle this week. So 72 minutes, massive. We played 52 last week, and I was thinking averaging about 30 when all's good and you don't have to sort of play Crossland in the middle. And yeah, obviously Matty Arthur, he was omitted. Bit of a bench reshuffle there. So. Yep. But yeah, I thought Jacko was good. Again, tried his fucking guts out. I don't know what more you wanted really from Jacko.
Absolutely. Christopher's asked, with KPP going to the Tigers next season, is there a chance later in the season McEwen takes his spot to get a head start on next season?
Whoa. The only time that would happen is if, unfortunately, is when you're completely and utterly ruled out of any sort of you get the calculator out and you're going, yeah, we're no hope, with a bunch of games to go. I'd see it. It sort of sucks because I really want to send KPP off well. I don't want to see him languishing on the bench or shit like that. I want to go out on a high with KPP. But yeah, I guess from a purely selfish point of view of developing your own talent, it would make sense to go, well, he's not going to be here, and I'm pretty sure McEwen they're going to feel like is going to be the guy. Again, he had probably his best game for the Knights off the bench this week. He's going to be a guy that they're going to want to develop. So every chance, mate. But let's hope we're not put in that position where we have to do that, because that means things aren't going great for us.
Katz asks, is Fletch back this week or another week off?
I think it's 1 to 2. I'll be very doubtful. Calf injury. Yeah, I think they'll. And given what he does, you know what I mean? You don't want that shit with Fletch. And you got KP coming back. So, it is, if there's ever a time to have Razor out, it's just going to be interesting if they keep Jacko. If Jacko, they go, well, we're going to persist with that, because you obviously haven't got, I don't think Tyson Gamble's back either. So keep the door open for Jacko to come back and play first grade again.
Noah's asked, what's up with Tyrone Thompson?
Don't know. He just mustn't be impressing in Cup, mate. What he made his debut? I think it was round. Fuck, it was against the Tigers, wasn't it? Remember, we were all stunned. God, Jesus, the brass nuts on Adam O'Brien to pull the trigger and debut him and Leo off make his debut, not off the bench, but starting. And then, did he even play another game? I can't even remember, bro. I guess these younger guys, mate, they're obviously pleasing the coaching staff more. I don't have time to watch New South Wales Cup, but I'll find out again. Go follow Newcastle Knights Juniors, mate. Lockie does a great job. He's sort of what I do for first grade. Lockie does real good in-depth stuff for the pathways guys and that, mate. He's all over that shit. He schools me all the time about these guys coming through and where they're at and whatnot. So it must be that. I don't think he's injured now. I think he's playing. But, obviously they just feel like the younger guys are, in front of him, I suppose.
Justin's made a good comment here. AOB mentioned that Bradman Best could be back this week too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he will be. That's it. Unless there's a setback, he could have played this week if we were desperate enough. And that's what bit us in the ass last time. Because it was after game 3, round 20. So Jacko's last game for us prior to this, round 20, that fucking horrible Broncos game, which I was down for. Remember that fucking tech outage, and I'm driving to the airport and then fucking all the planes have fucking stopped. So me and bloody Tom from Penalty Broncos tear us down the Newey to witness that fucking shit show. And I think he played like 10 minutes because there was a bit of concern, but they pushed on and fucking. I think he played like 1 or 2 games at the arse end of that. I think he was out for ages. So they've learnt their lesson to give him another week and really make sure it's healed up. Like Dill Lucas. Dill Lucas had that hamstring and need him fit and fire, mate. Need that left edge cooking once more.
Denise has asked, is Dom Young ready to be selected or is AOB keeping him on the bench?
Nah, I'm pretty sure they'll plug him in. Unless Schiller Instinct was absolutely killing it. Like if Schiller Instinct was playing like 2023 Dom, they won't fuck with it. But the go to all that effort to go get Dom, and why would Dom leave? Dom would be like, well, I'll just fucking stay here. Why the fuck would I uproot now and mid-season just to go play Reggie's at Newcastle? I'm pretty sure that there would have been talks about, well, you clearly had a really good connection. The best, the most consistent version of Dominic Young was paired up with Dane Gagai. And Dane's still in the building. So I thought, well, it's the last roll of the dice to try and reinvigorate that format of Dom Young again. And then I guess thinking out loud, you still got Shills there, so an understudy. And then who better if they do feel like they want to move on from Dane, we'll just have, Schiller Instinct learn off our boy Gags and plug him in, and hopefully that right edge can continue doing what they need to do. So
here you go, Lincoln. Your dad's commented, Mick Crawley was the Raiders attacking coach we met on the casino.
Mick Crawley. So what was I calling him? Mark. I'm sure he's been called a lot worse things than Mark, but there you go. Mick Crawley. That's him. Where the fuck did I get? Did I call him Mark Bishop?
Yeah.
I think I'd. Where the fuck did I get that from?
The drugs.
Wow. Jeez Louise.
Last one. Tony's just said, I'm meeting both Hunt and Carl tomorrow for a meet and greet.
Oh, very good. Well, tell him your boy Linc has been talking him up big time. Hugely. I'm sure they already know that, but say, he's really beating your drum. Linc's on the front line, really putting it out there for you boys. I'd appreciate that, Tony. Very good. Oh, Battlers, thank you very much for that. Now, if you can, please do so. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe on all social media platforms. I'm sure you bastards waste plenty of time on social media. So wherever you are, Go find us if you haven't done so already. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And again, you'll go on the running. YouTube, Spotify. All you got to do, follow, 5-star review on those, and you're in the running. All right. Tuesday, I'll be announcing that. So you got a couple of days. Get them in. Get them in. You don't want to miss out on that. If you're down in the dumps, you're going, fuck. Here we are flying high after pounding, we did pound Manly, I guess, in the last half. The Roosters have got you down in the dumps. Well, go relive the glory years. That's my gift to you. That's my gift to you. You're gonna go back and relive the glory years with some absolute sick merchandise there from the good old years for the Newcastle Knights. But yes, battlers, that'll do until the Tuesday roster review show, previewing the upcoming clash against the Finns over in Perth before State of Origin. So big week next week. As I said, I've got my work cut out for me. Plenty of overtime next week. So battlers, I'm getting the Adam O'Brien out of here. I'll catch you then.